hold on. Just a little while longer, hold on. Just a little while longer, hold on. Just a little while longer, everything is gonna be alright. Pray on, just a little while longer. Pray on, just a little while longer. Pray on, just a little while longer. Everything is gonna be alright. Wherever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Krista Schneider, and I'm the last-minute service associate today because Terry was not feeling well. So please bear with me because it's going to be a ride. Cedar Point is now open. Anyway, welcome to First Unitarian Church of Toledo on this, and it says here in my notes, the 27th day of April. But I double-checked with Jeffrey, and I know it is not. It is the first day of June. So already, our first little hill on the roller coaster, and we made it all right. Woo. Anyway, we are so glad that you are here with us right now, whether in our sanctuary or at a time and place of your choosing, watching us on YouTube, or even watching us live on YouTube. We are a church with no official creed, which is spelled C-R-E-E-D-P in my notes here. So I'm assuming that the P is silent and that we do have no official creed. And that really and truly our only doctrine is love. And love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our values and our shared values. And one of those shared values is interdependence, which will be an inspiration for the service today. I hope that's right.
I hope so too.
All right. We need each other, and all of nature is a part of our interdependent existence. And we welcomed everyone as we sang in our opening song, and we strive to care for our planet. And I'm here, again, I'm Krista with Melissa Jeter, who will be presenting our service today, and we are so lucky and blessed to have you. And Jeffrey Maxey. What's up, Jeffrey? He's our music director. He's at the piano today, and he directs our First Unitarian Choir. And I know he's good because I once showed up outside the choir door, and Jeffrey said, "Please don't come in, please," so I could just hear him. And I do promise to turn my mic down really low. And David, you're on that too whenever we're singing today. Instead of Jenny Gottman, who is our Director of Lifelong Learning, Susan Spiegel will tell today's story. So we'll all be excited to hear Susan, I know. And today our tech bay includes producer-director Walter McGee, who's not actually in the bay, but is doing it in absentia from the hospital, and he has helped us all week long from his bed, amazingly. At the soundboard is David Strickler. Andy Gottman is on cameras. And the director-producer is our own Jeffrey. Stand up, Jeffrey. Do we have a picture of you? We don't have our monitors on.
It's back there. Yep. There we go.
All right. There are many more church members helping today with greeters in the lobby, safety. Our kitchen crew is led by Carla Logan Mercer, preparing for the coffee hour. If you would ever like to volunteer for any of these things, look how fun this is. You, too, could be doing this. Or sitting back there in the cameras. Oh, so fun, so fun. You are welcome to do that and you can talk to me or anybody else, and we will get you signed up to volunteer. If you are a visitor, any visitors in the house today? Oh, I see some really great visitors out there. That is awesome. Welcome. It's so lovely to have you here. Normally, this is going a little more smoothly and quickly than it is today, but don't worry. There is a yellow card in the rack in front of you, if you could look at that. You may use that to introduce yourself to us. If you include your email address, I know kids today don't use email. We'll text you, don't worry. We'll find you. And as you meet people today, please feel free to introduce yourselves and ask any questions that you may have. And a couple of points to help make this a sacred space for all in attendance. If you do have an electronic device, please put it on silent or vibrate only mode, which actually I haven't done yet, so I should probably do that because that would be really embarrassing. We have, at this point, candles up here, which you're welcome to come and light to kind of, I lit one for my dad last week. He wasn't feeling well. I know people have lit them in celebrations, but that is one of our big symbols of Unitarian Universalism, so feel free to come up and light a chalice. Especially during like the music or at any time, really. But there's like this red thing on my thing. I think it says surprise. Is there a surprise here today?
There is a surprise.
Oh my.
So Melissa from the...
Hang on.
What? Oh. I got a mic, Walter. Watch out. This is from the Board of Trustees. I guess you could say from the incoming and the outgoing.
Thank you.
And roses for a rose for your service. And Joanne Harto has rehearsed a little something, so she's coming up.
Why?
Joanne, you want to come up? It won't fit you. Can you come to us? Will you help her? Okay, hang on to that.
Some days get slower than others. Hey, God, it is so wonderful to stand here and look out and see all of these beautiful faces. Thank you for being here today, and I know Melissa appreciates it. You're in for a great service and a great musician. And here comes Joanne, who's had practiced a little something we didn't. Okay, do you want me to hold the mic?
Yes,
Do you want me to hold the
I
mic?
do, because I don't want to follow her in front of
Okay.
everybody. It would not be good. Not be good.
Okay,
No,
she's rehearsed a little something for Melissa
I just-
and for this time.
I just wanted to say that on behalf of the outgoing members of the Board of Trustees, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and this congregation, we want to congratulate you on your graduation from the Methodist Theological School in Ohio with a Master's of Divinity. And we're very proud of you, and we love you, and we want you to go far with your career, but not very far away from us. How about, okay? Is it okay? All right.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Normally, I would say speech, but we're going to hear Melissa speak. Anyway, miraculously, that completes the opening announcements. So let's begin our service. We hope this time serves your spirit well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. I'm very grateful. As Krista lights the chalice, please join me in reciting the chalice lighting words, which are on the screen and in your order of service. Our chalice has the spirit of Unitarian Universalism. We light it centered in love, May it glow with sacredness and shine for each and all. And now, Krista will lead us in the covenant, which is not a creed, but is generally agreed upon by our congregation.
Love is the doctrine of our church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
We've got lots of things going on today. Now for our first spiritual practice beyond ourselves. The first thing that I want to say is that our longtime member, Betsy Ford, has died at the age of 101. Plans for a memorial service are being discussed, and we send our condolences to her family. We also continue to send our healing thoughts to Walter McGee, who is probably watching right now, as he is dealing with his continuing health problems. We will look beyond ourselves and to our current local and world situation, as well as concerns and celebrations in our congregation, those two that I have already mentioned in our congregation. While I am trying to limit my own intake of news to maintain my mental health, there are still events that catch my attention. I noticed that in April, the Poor People's Campaign restarted Moral Mondays, this time in Washington, D.C. The campaign has been mobilizing to address poverty and low wages from the bottom up to lift the entire nation. The Poor People's Campaign emerges from the pain and suffering of 140 million people, as stated from the repairs of the breach. Some of the people most impacted have told their stories of daily struggles without health care, adequate shelter, low wages, and more. The ministers, Reverend Dr. William Barber and Reverend Dr. Liz Theo Harris, co-chairs of the Poor People's Campaign, have been persistent in acknowledging the interlocking systems of oppression, racism, ecological devastation, denial of health care, the rights of LGBTQ persons, militarism, and a distorted moral narrative of religious nationalism that blames the poor. Ministers have prayed in the rotunda of the Capitol on behalf of the pain and suffering they say this new budget of the United States will cause. And I did a little digging to find some more information. On April 28th, Reverend Barber, along with Reverend Jonathan Wilson Hargrove, were in the rotunda, as well as Steve Swain, director of St. Francis Springs Prayer, and they were arrested on that day. On May 5th, Reverend Joel Simpson, Shane Claiborne, Reverend Hannah Broom, and some others were also arrested. Ministers say that the 2025 U.S. budget is not only immoral, but a great, big, deadly deal. While no one likes waste or fraud, the way the budget allocates funds to increase tax breaks for the very wealthy, while decreasing and cutting Medicaid and Social Security, SNAP benefits, that these things will hurt people in the process. My understanding is that the Office of Management and Budget says that the 2025 budget will have a 1.9 trillion deficit. By the way, Reverend Barber has another book published called White Poverty. The book addresses what many may not have wanted to recognize, that whites in the United States have always been affected by poverty. In speaking about his arrest, Reverend Barber said that he hoped to arrest the attention of the nation. May our attention be so arrested and attentive to the pain and suffering here and in the homes of those joining this service from YouTube. So let us recognize those experiencing personal concerns and joys. May we hold these personal challenges and celebrations in our hearts too. And now for our opening hymn, which is number 368, Now Let Us Sing. Please stand as you are willing and able. Lift up your voice, be not afraid, sing to the power of the joy within. Sing to the power of the joy within. Sing to the power of the within. Lift up your hearts.
To the power of the love within. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Sing to the power of the faith within. Sing the power of the love within. Sing to the
Power of the love within. Lift up your hearts, be not afraid.
Sing to the power of the
And now Susan Spiegel will come up with our story.
Good morning. Well, there's one kid here, and I heard a kid back there. All right. Kids, if you would like to come up front for the story, please come now. This is a good one. The story today is called All People Need a Voice. And believe me, this is for the adults, too. Hi, Maddox. Oh, new kids, I don't even know you. Come on and sit down. I know you, Jalen. Hello. Come and sit anywhere you'd like. Okay, this story was written by Janine Grosmeyer. Okay, here's the story. It was a warm summer evening in that wonderful time between the end of supper and having to get ready for bed, when the fireflies started to appear one by one. Do you guys see the fireflies in the spring? Okay. At night, yeah, when it's dusk, right. 3 children went outside to play. But what should we play? Asked Tabitha, who was the oldest of them all. She had bright, shiny braces and beads braided into her hair. Let's play tag, said Alex, who was the next oldest. He always wore his baseball hat sideways. and he always wore his t-shirt tucked in. I don't see any tucked in t-shirts there. Let's play hide and seek, said Sheena. She was the youngest. She had 3 braids in her long dark hair, 2 little braids in front, 1 on each side, and 1 big braid in back. Tag, said Alex. Hide and seek, said Sheena. Tag, hide and seek. Stop it, said Tabitha, stamping her feet. Let's vote. Sheena looked at Alex, and Alex looked at Sheena, and they both said, okay. We can have secret ballots and everything, said Tabitha. And she ran inside her house and then brought back paper and pencils and a shoebox with a skinny little hole cut in the top. Sheena took her piece of paper and wrote hide and seek in neat, careful letters. Then she folded her paper and put it through the skinny little hole in the box. Alex and Tabitha were already done. Right, now we count them, said Tabitha, and she took the lid off the box and unfolded each paper. Tag, hide and seek, tag. It's 2-1, tag wins. Okay, said Sheena, and the 3 of them played tag until their parents called them inside to get ready for bed. The next night, Tabitha brought the shoebox and they voted again. What do you think? They voted. It's 2-1 again. Tag wins. Why do you think? 2 people voted for tag, right? Sheena sighed, okay. And tag won the next night too, and the night after that, and the night after that. It's not fair, said Sheena. But we voted on it, Alex replied. And that was true. And besides, they lived in a democratic country. And in a democracy, voting was the best way to decide. Still not fair, yeah? Oh, yeah, only Jalen would have mentioned the Electoral College. Well, good, that's a good point. It's still not fair, Sheena muttered. So the next night, when tag won again, she decided not to play. Oh, come on, said Tabitha. Tag isn't fun with only 2 people. Tag isn't fun at all, Sheena said darkly. I'm tired of playing tag. I quit. Tabitha looked at Alex, and Alex looked at Tabitha, and then they both looked back at Sheena, who wouldn't look at either one of them at all. Tabitha jingled the beads braided into her hair, and Alex turned his baseball cap to the other side. Then Alex said, well, maybe instead of voting all the time, we could take turns. Sheena looked up. Take turns? Yeah, 2 nights playing tag because there are 2 of us who like to play tag, and then 1 night playing hide and seek because there's 1 of you. We could start tonight, said Tabitha. We could even play hide and seek for a couple nights in a row because we haven't played it at all yet. How's that sound, Sheena? That sounds great, Sheena said. I'm going to hide. Me too, said Alex. That means you're it, Tabitha. And he and Sheena ran off to hide while Tabitha closed her eyes and counted. When you play tag, how many do you count to? 10? Well, these guys are counting to 100. So when she got to 100, she yelled, ready or not, here I come. And on that warm summer evening in that glorious time between the end of supper and having to get ready for bed, as the fireflies appeared one by one, the 3 children played outside until their parents called them home. And that's the story. Yeah, I do too. All right. And now we are leaving, the children and I.
Thank you, Susan. So let us go and turn inward right now for our spiritual practice. Oh, you know what? That's right. We should do that. We need to have some centering music. Yes, do that first.
Though days be dark with storms and burdens weigh my heart, the troubles wait at every turn. I know I can go on when sorrow heals my soul and burdens make me strong. The troubles wait at every turn. I know I can go on, and though my journey is long, the destination, it is near. The troubles wait at every turn. I know I can go on. So brother, take my hand, and sister, sing my song. When hope awaits at every turn, I know I can go on. I know you can go on. I know we can go on.
Newborn's life-saving word. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250 baby.
And now we shall turn inward
CSN. That's
with our spiritual practice.
CSN. All gifts are tax deductible.
Let's take a moment and put our feet firmly on the floor. Relax your jaw. Take a deep inhale and then exhale. In your mind's eye, see yourself resting in your safe place. Or rest in this moment. Take another deep inhale and exhale. Look at your hands. Look at the creases, the prints that are only unique to you. Let life be spoken over your hands as I repeat this values prayer after St. Francis by Christopher Bussy. Make us instruments of your peace. Where there is indifference, may we bring justice. Where there is selfishness, may we bring equity. Where there is stagnation, may we bring transformation. Where there is homogeneity, may we bring pluralism. Where there is isolation, may we bring interdependence. Where there is greed, may we bring generosity. And where there is hatred, may we bring love. Make us instruments of your peace, with love at the center of everything we do. That is the end of the prayer. Thank your hands for what they have done. Thank those around you for what their hands have done. Now hold your hand or the hand of another. Yes. And breathe deeply through 1 minute of silence.
counselors, the Lord rebuked for giving him false counsel. But this particular servant, beloved, the Lord didn't rebuke. And listen what this servant said to Job. Once again, I'm reading from the book of Job, chapter number 33, the words of Elihu, beginning there in verse number 14. Indeed, God speaks once or twice, yet no one notices it. So he begins to say that the Lord speaks. He speaks once, he speaks twice, but when he's speaking, Elihu says, people don't notice. Let's continue on. In the 15th verse, how is he speaking? He says, in a dream, a vision of the night, when sound asleep falls on men, while they slumber in their bed, then he, meaning God, opens the ears of the deaf and sounds the
Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Root to me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Again, the angel spoke to Joseph. How? In a dream. And he said to Joseph, take him back.
Can everybody hear me? Awesome, because I dropped the mic. Jeffrey said, if you set the mic on here, don't walk away and drop it on the floor, which is exactly what I did 2 minutes ago. So, today's reading is by Leslie Takahashi, and she offers us the reading Marginal Wisdom from the book Voices from the Margins, which was edited by Jacquot James and Mark Morrison Reed. They teach us to read in black and white. Truth is this, the rest is false. You are whole or broken. Who you love is acceptable or not. Life tells its truth in many hues. We are taught to think in either or, to believe the teachings of Jesus or Buddha, to believe in human potential or a power beyond a single will. I am broken or I am powerful. Life embraces multiple truths, speaks of both and of and. We are taught to see in absolutes, good versus evil, male versus female, old versus young, gay versus straight. Let us see the fractions, spectrum, the margins. Let us open our hearts to the complexity of our worlds. Let us make our lives sanctuaries to nurture our many identities. The day is coming when all will know that the rainbow world is more gorgeous than monochrome, that a river of identities can ebb and flow over the static, stubborn rocks in its course, that the margins hold the center.
Good morning. I'm always happy to be here. Thank you. So, religion or politics? Clergy or activist? Liberal or conservative? Woman or man? Gay or straight? Same sex or different sex? Living being or humanity? Minister or poet? Perhaps some of you are wondering, what is essential? Maybe you are tired or uncomfortable with the uncertainty and turmoil that is happening right now. What is the world coming to when politicians think they also can be the Pope, and ministers are arrested for praying in government buildings? Is there anything that is certain? The last part in the reading, I hear Leslie Takahashi, and she sounds like the prophets of the Old Testament. She says, "The day is coming." I am asking, are we there yet? Perhaps we can look at the past to find out. I recently spent some time studying mass violence, genocide, and eugenics. I can hear your sighs already, yes. It's a very heavy topic. The Holocaust. Did a lot of study on the Holocaust. The German people were well educated, yet they were anxious. Germany was economically chaotic after World War I. Germany did have to pay reparations, but in the book I read by Doris L. Bergen, she said, it was too simple an explanation to say that paying for reparations caused the economic chaos and led the people to feel humiliated. So just what was that anxiety about? Unfortunately, hateful ideas against Jewish people, the mentally or physically disabled, and gays, as well as restrictions about the role of women, were not necessarily novel ideas in Germany, in Eastern Europe, not to forget the Roma people, gypsies. These ideas had threads coming from generations earlier, specifically in regard to eugenics. Starting in the 1800s, there were ideas that devalued human beings in favor of having a kind of perfect people. This eugenics movement was international, by the way. Some interesting history I found was that Alexander Graham Bell had been the chair of the board of scientific directors of the Eugenics Record Office. Also, just as an interesting historical footnote here, and please take a breath. I know this information is hard to hear, it was hard to see and find. Lewis Latimer was Alexander Graham Bell's assistant, African American, and a founding member of a Unitarian church in Flushing, New York. It's interesting, and these facts cause me some discomfort and cognitive dissonance. What did these scientists think of each other? Was there some hubris? Were there thoughts of exceptionalism? Was there emotional anxiety? Hold on. Take a breath. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Hold someone's hand if you need to. Reach out and breathe together. Did any of you watch the Ken Burns documentary about the role of the United States during the Holocaust? Okay. It is challenging to watch. I hadn't watched it either, but I had to watch it for class. What appears now as the limited moral imagination of past leaders is really painful to hear. Theodore Roosevelt was concerned about race suicide, even while convening meetings with world leaders about what nations would take Jewish people into their countries. They were fleeing Germany. There was existential threat to their lives. Some people fight, some people fawn, some people flee to a safer country, a place that has room physically and emotionally. The documentary does talk about the Sharps who worked with the Unitarian Service Committee to save the lives of some Jewish people. I think it is good to know about the Sharps and the witness statements of Unitarian Universalism against ideas such as manifest destiny. What is meant by Reverend William Barber and Jonathan Hargrove when they pray in the Capitol Rotunda, these moral Mondays? Theologian Walter Brueggemann says, "It is the work of prophecy to unveil ideology that breeds unrealistic notions of entitlement, privilege, and superiority." Brueggemann wrote that thinking that our country is exceptional ushers in this kind of unrealistic ideology. So much of the past resonates with the present. Though here in our Unitarian Universalist Church, we rarely talk about the stories in the Old Testament, theologian Walter Brueggemann talks about how the fall of Jerusalem led to the Babylonian exile. He recalls the words of the prophets of the Hebrew Bible who question, where was God while the elite who were greedy thought they could do whatever they wanted? They were power hungry and they had wealth. And of course, God was with them. Yet here is where the prophets Isaiah and Jeremiah warn the elite of Jerusalem. Learn to do good, seek justice, rescue the oppressed, defend the orphan, plead for the widow. That's what Isaiah says. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 17. Jeremiah says, they have grown fat and sleek. They know no limits in deeds of wickedness. They do not judge with justice, the cause of the orphan, to make it prosper. And they do not defend the right of the needy. Let me ask you a question, friends. Is there any group of people for whom you have decided there is no room in your heart? For whom do you have no empathy? I know we are to love our neighbors, seek compassion, mercy, and justice. Perhaps if and when you find the answer to that question, you will find your path toward reflecting on expanding room in your heart. Is there room to be particular humans, all of us created beyond, with our own particular gifts or genius? Howard Thurman said that his particularity was not universal. He was, of course, talking about religion. His particular experience was not universal. It didn't have to apply to everybody. This is my particular religious experience. I agree and add that not one of our particular experiences by themselves is universal. Yet sometimes I find room in my heart. Sometimes when I'm sitting down and I'm having lunch with a particular person who doesn't look like me, there's room just to be human. To be connected with people, older, younger, different skin colors, classes, all those different pieces of glass in a kaleidoscope that together reflect all of us. As I get older and more emotionally mature, I find myself yearning for that kind of deeper connection more than anything. It's a kind of connection in which a person can be transformed if we can really sit in awareness of our emotions and the emotions of the people we are with. I've been reading Octavia Butler's book, The Parable of the Sower. And in it, the young, hypersensitive protagonist says that everything you touch changes and everything changes you. God, she says, is change. You know, the former is a scientific principle that plays out in life. The latter requires me to wrestle with its novelty. What does it mean to say God is change? When the Apostle Paul wrote to early proto-Orthodox Christian communities, because there were many different Christianities, the one that won out, the proto-Orthodox Christian communities. He said that wherever there's one or two of us, there's God. I tend toward reconciling these ideas with my UU theology, in which humanity is primary. What happens when people gather together? Why do we gather together? We gather in spirit, we gather in love, we gather the power to make sense of our hardships and emotional anxieties that happen because we are alive. I hear people say, and sometimes I say it myself, life is lifing. I gather with you and share my emotional anxieties to be held, to be loved, to be seen and heard, to be connected and alive. Joseph Campbell said that two coming together serve something larger than themselves. In the kaleidoscope of humanity, or really all living beings, the different pieces gathered serve by providing beauty that none of them could provide individually. Interconnected relationships can be beautiful and serve all. It doesn't always seem that way or end up that way, and I wonder then if those relationships are transactional. Give me this for that. I'm done. End of story. Take this, get out of here. However, if God is change, not a supernatural being that particularly cares for you or me, what do we gather for and what do we appreciate about being at all? Who do we appreciate? What do we appreciate about being alive? Appreciative inquiry is an approach of building capacity. It generates more. More love, more kindness, more questions, more effort to comprehend. I say, yes, please, more empathy, more autonomy, more beautiful kaleidoscopes, more hope, more holding on to the roots and branches of the tree of life. So there's this mythos. This is a myth being not a falsehood, but it's a story that tells you something that's true about life. There's a mythos about a tree, the tree of life and human descent into the world. It is a story that reminds me to hold on in uncertain times. The story goes that everybody has a soul connected to this tree of life. Through the branches and its roots, as we come into being here in this life, and think about this as a what if, okay? Because I know we are really, and I have been too. I had to read poetry in class, and that was really hard. It was hard for me. So bear with me. The souls choose what group they will belong to so they can learn different ways in life. What if? But as we descend from this tree of life, trying to hold on to our mission, so to speak, trying to hold on to what's important and keep these tendrils or branches and roots, we forget what we came here to do. What if? Keep your imagination open and curious. I mean, how many times have you gone into another room in a hurry to get something and just totally forgot what you came in there for? So we get here, forgot what we were holding on to, what we wanted to be here for, and the purpose of our journey. Maybe some of you have heard parts of this myth before, but if not, let's think of it as a literary device to open your imagination. Ask yourself, what am I learning? What has this life taught me? What emotions do I feel? Emotions like happy, mad, sad, glad, grief, disgust. emotions. What is there to learn from being who I am? And what could I share of learnings and gathering? Herein lies the hope. Life is uncertain, and I don't know about you, but I don't remember thinking I would live in the world as it is today. Right now, I wanted all of us in. Universal health care, all of us in. I exist. How about universal basic income? All of us are worthy. How about you get to eat and you get to eat? We all get to eat. Just because we exist, collective caring, because we exist. Didn't Mary Oliver say, you don't have to grovel on your knees to be worthy? We in groups can gather to serve each other in appreciation, gratitude, love, learning, listening, for emotions and connecting. When we gather, we can hold each other better, and all the uncertainty, sadness, and anger, happiness, we hold it better together, serving each other. And by serving each other, I do mean those inside this building and in our communities outside the building, and that is gathering for a purpose that is larger than ourselves. I'm almost done. And then we're going to sing. We also might prophetically remember why we came here. Why did I come in this room? What was I looking for? Maybe we find the thread of it when we hold the pain and suffering of another. It's like looking in a mirror, becoming a little more self-differentiated in a free faith community. Might be like that. The room we need is within each other, in our hearts. It is in gathered community where we share each other's burdens and are vulnerable about our feelings and struggles. There is enough room for our existence. There is, however, never enough room for anyone or any of us in transactional relationships where divide, conquer, and extract is the rule. There are also never enough resources, no progressive technology, no specialized petrochemical fertilizers, or children are enough for a specific specialized use. And that's the thing. Being is not about use, but love. Love makes it enough. When it is true, and we are attuned to the emotions in the milieu, in the system, and we know we can be vulnerable and honest. We can truly hold space for all the joy, anxiety, fear, and discomfort. I don't know about you. But I've been charged to cultivate radically trusting relationships. True friends as opposed to frenemies. Think about it as though it were an ecology, because it is. Maybe you have never experienced it, but I know that in uncertain times, gathering to be held in love is where and when I know there is enough room to be authentically ourselves, enough room to learn and grow, enough room to be the beings that we are. This is what I think it feels like in beloved community. All the flowers and grasses and bees and flies and birds in a meadow, just being beautiful. Beauty, love. The thing is, though, we have to hold on to the roots and the branches from the tree of life, because that tree of life has the wisdom, the knowledge, and reason, the purpose. Hold on just a little while longer. a man stepped to me. He said, "How can you smile when the world is crumbling down?" And I said, "Here's my secret. If you want to know, I take a look around and I see that I'm getting by, and I hold on.
Hold on,
Change is coming.
change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on,
Everything will be alright. Hold on.
hold on,
Pace is coming.
change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Everything will be alright.
Some people like to worry. Some people like to hide. Some people like to run away from the pain inside. Now it's your business. Do whatever you wanna do. But if it don't work out, here's what you gotta do. Gotta hold on.
Hold on.
Change is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't worry about a thing.
Hold on. You can make it. Hold on. Everything will be alright.
The
Troubles of life weigh you down. Just lift your head up.
yeah, yeah.
The love you seek can hard to find. Don't give up.
Just be strong.
Keep the faith and you hold on.
Hold on.
Faith is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Every worry about a thing. Hold on.
Hold on.
Change is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't you worry about a thing. Okay, so this is the part that you get to sing with me, because I don't like to sing alone, even though I can't get the mic to do what I wanted to do. The other mic, so I can sing in the right mic. Now you sing with me, you sing with Jeffrey. You sing with Jeffrey. I'm gonna sing this part, you sing this to yourself when you feel this way, okay? La 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 la.
La,
La la
la,
la la
la,
la la
la,
la la
la,
la la. Hold on,
Hold on.
change is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on,
Hold on.
don't worry about a thing. Hold on,
Hold on.
you can make it.
You can make it.
Hold on,
Hold on.
don't you worry about a thing. Hold on.
Melissa. She's no longer our student minister. She's arrived. She held on. We got all kinds of feedback here. Which is a shame because I'm supposed to be counting calories and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to count that. Now is the time for our offering. Let us now give freely and generously an offering to sustain and strengthen our shared religious community, a community of memories, hope, faith, and love. For we are now the keepers of its flame that burned for justice, its dream of a beloved community, its vision of a world made whole. First Unitarian Church of Toledo is primarily a self-supporting congregation. So members' pledges are important to us, but it would also help if you put a little bit extra in the basket. We will pass the baskets here in the sanctuary. We also have a basket in the lobby for pledge payments and other donations. baskets. Please use one of the suggested ways of giving that are on the screen if you are watching at home on video or if you're young and adept with your cell phone. Thank you for helping Unitarian Universalism to thrive in Toledo, across our nation, and the world.
It is the coming soon time, that part of our service where we tell you what's on the calendar for this week. We give you some announcements, and we also let you know what's up for right after the service. Join us for Spiritual Forum on June 8th at 9:45 for the first chapter of 6 sessions of ukulele lessons with the apostle of the banjo apostle, David Strickler. A ukulele orchestra might not be as grand as a handbell choir, but a group of strummers can have joy. And there's plenty of room for those of us who aren't musically proficient. The goal is to have fun, perhaps with a bit of silliness mixed in. Please bring your own uke, but in case you don't have one, we'll have a couple extras available. For the 11 a.m. service next Sunday, our member and now incoming chair of the Board of Trustees, Krista Snyder, will bring a sermon titled 10 Commandments for Unitarian Universalists.
In case you were confused, that's me. I'll be talking next week, and I am the incoming board president, and I do have commandments because I plan on modeling my presidency after a certain, let's just say, someone we are all aware of. So be sure to come and get your marching orders. Also, our church does have many activities. Might interest you. Please check our website, uutoledo.org, or our UUFYI newsletter, accessible from the website for upcoming events. An important coming soon announcement is to ask you to complete your annual stewardship support pledges and help meet our operating budget for 2025-26, the coming fiscal year. And again, that is very important, although I do have some really great ideas for fundraisers. Deadline is June 30th. Thanks everyone for your support and being present here today. Get involved, be vital in building our membership in First Unitarian Church by fulfilling your pledge. Let's get our values out in the world because they're beautiful and they're love, The final coming soon entry is for me to repeat the invitation for you to join us in Fellowship Hall after today's service for coffee, conversation, and social time. And a special thanks to our coffee donors. Here's mud in your eyes. Here's mud in your eyes, everyone. Enjoy. We do one final spiritual practice.
Yes, we do one final spiritual practice.
Is it me?
Yeah, that's the one.
We just okay.
Okay. So, in unison, may I, may we, and may all beings be well, be happy, be peaceful, be safe, awaken to the light of our true nature, and be free, and harm none. Do what ye will. Please join me in saying the words on the screen while Krista extinguishes the chalice. We send the flame from our Unitarian Universalist chalice with the love on which we center everything to fire up the world and spread equity, generosity, interdependence, justice, pluralism, and transformation. Go in peace, holding, knowing, and centering love in your lives and sharing your actions. Merry meet, merry part, and blessed be. And Jeffrey and I are going to sing a little bit more, so. Yesterday, they said to me, he said, how can you smile when the world is tumbling down? And I said, here's my secret. If you want to know, I take a look around and I see that I'm getting by, and I hold on. Change is coming. Hold on. And don't worry about a thing. Hold on. Change is coming. Hold on.
See, this feels better because now my monitor was off before, now it's on, so I can hear the beep. And then we can do it right. Oh, some people like to work, some people like to hide, some people like to run away from the pain inside. Now it's your business. Do whatever you wanna do. But if it don't work out, here's what you gotta do. You gotta hold on. Change is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't you worry about a thing.
Hold on.
You can make it.
You can make it.
Let's go on the other section. The troubles of life
Weigh you down. Just keep your head up.
Yeah, yeah.
When the love you seek is hard to find, just be strong.
The pain.
Just hold on.
Then hold on.
Hold on.
Change is coming.
Change is coming.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Don't you worry about a thing. Hold on. Yes.
Hold on. Your part. You can leave now too. You don't have to stay. La 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 la
So choir meets at 9:30 on Sunday mornings. So I expect all of you to be here. We can all be up here and nobody in the seats. That would be fun next week. So anyways, have a great day. Have a good Sunday. Enjoy the weather. It's going to be warm this week. So keep cool and hydrated. And have a good day. Bye.
welcome. You're very welcome.
There you go.
Thank you. I love you. Hi, Kristen. Hey. Cake and ice cream. Okay. Hi. Thank you. Thank you.
I was like looking out there and I'm like, oh, Cheryl. Oh, it's great to see you. Cake and ice cream in honor of.
Thanks for playing bass. Of course. Live stream. Yeah. I like it a lot more than force. I play upright bass. Really? And 7th string viola with drums. You play upright? Yeah. I was usually doing like substitute bass player for did a couple times with David's Groove. Every musical bone in my body went out the window. Because like I had so many things that I was practicing at home, and then it just went. I couldn't remember any of it. That's how you want to.